Hello and welcome to today's Strategic Procurement Department Small and Local Business Development Show. My name is Dwayne T. Holloway, and I'll be your host for today. And I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Christopher Grant-Henrykes. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. I know we've talked about this on many occasions leading up to this moment, but it's here now.
Yes.
And we have to do what we have to do. But let us know a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name, of course, is Christopher Grant-Henrykes. I'm a born native of New York. Came down to Florida when I was 19 years old, and I joined Barry University for my bachelor's before moving on to Florida International University for my master's degree. And I'm a husband with two small children, 8 and 7, that I adore completely. And I've been in procurement for over a decade's time so far.
Wow, awesome. Over a decade. Well, ladies, he's taken. He's not single, so you can't have him. I had the pleasure and my first encounter with Mr. Chris. Is it okay to call you Chris
Absolutely.
on the show? I know you're named Christopher, and I know some people will be like, his mama named him Christopher, so I'm going to call him Christopher. But Mr. Chris is what we know you around the office.
Absolutely.
And thank you for being here once again. But my first encounter with Mr. Chris was with the Certified Procurement Professional training program that we went to. And as a former educator myself, I appreciate when individuals can stand up in front of a group of people and speak and catch their attention like you do. And the whole team does a magnificent job. Sophia Cunningham, Jocelyn Fulton, the whole team do a great job with the training department. So thank you for that. Thank you for keeping our attention, because we have about 50 people in that class sometimes, and it's a lot to keep everyone's attention. You do a great job at it. That was my first encounter, and it's a pleasure interviewing you today.
I truly appreciate that.
Yeah,
I definitely have that same passion for teaching what I know and love about procurement. And I know that sometimes procurement can be a very complicated subject to get through. There's a lot of laws, codes, procedures that you have to follow, especially as a government entity.
Right.
So being able to present that in a form that keeps the audience engaged is very important to me. And, you know, we're there for weeks. Or rather, we're there for a full week, so days upon days, and it's a lot of information. So to keep it interactive and fun is something that I truly, truly, truly like to do.
Great, and you do a great job at it. Good job. Procurement. Can you describe your pathway to procurement? How did you get here?
Procurement. I think if you surveyed 99% of procurement professionals, they'll say, I have no idea how I ended up in procurement because I didn't go to college for procurement, for public administration. No, I was a business major. And I just happened to start my government career. And though my main responsibilities wasn't procurement itself, I was doing procurement. I just didn't know that's what it was called. So I started off with the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles as a general operation manager, taking care of a full-on state facility at age 27. And here, you know, I'm reviewing quotes, making sure that vendors are, now that I know, are responsible, that they have certifications to provide services such as bathroom renovations or refitting our parking lots. There was all these things that I was just doing it because I was told, hey, this is a part of your job responsibilities. But then after 5 years of doing that with the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, I moved over to an entity that actually did focus and have specific positions for procurement, even though I didn't know that's what I was getting into again. And that was the Florida Department of Transportation. So there was actually where it was like, no, this is your full-on job responsibility, and this is what procurement is. And because of the dynamic nature of procurement, that every project's different, every commodity's different, even the same commodity, you may do 2 different projects, that's the same commodity, that will even be different. That just sang to my learning heart. I love to learn, that's why I love procurement. So staying with the Florida Department of Transportation for a couple of years, I then came over to Miami-Dade County, which definitely exploded my procurement career because Miami-Dade County is unique and it has such a robust and thorough procurement process that there were a lot more steps involved and a lot more analysis that were needed in order to get it to the finish line. So in short, procurement is my life, it's my love, it's my passion because of the ever-changing atmosphere and environment that we have to operate in.
Awesome. Good. Nice journey. So we know that the procurement department in itself has many different moving parts. As a division director, as yourself, what is your daily role with the procurement department?
The daily role changes just as dynamic as procurement does, because you would think that procurement's just as simple as establish a contract, monitor it, make sure everything's going good, and that's it. You just move on. Unfortunately, there's many different, or fortunately rather, there are many different moving parts with a contract, with a procurement. It's not as simple as just establishing a contract. There's analysis that you have to do. There's staff that needs to be monitored and so many different things. So as a division director, not only am I making sure that contracts are active and are valid and that they are able to provide the products and services that our county departments need, but rather that we can continue to make sure the operations of the county moves forward. So I manage both the operations team as well as I oversee the fleet and facilities team.
Okay.
So when you listen to or when you hear both of those titles, it's kind of self-explanatory. The operations team manages almost anything that the county departments need in order to operate on a daily basis. So something very important. Without those particular commodities and services, they wouldn't be able to provide the services to the public and anyone else. So that's just some. I won't say that the operations team takes care of 100% of it, because we do have other teams that do provide those same type of services for many of the departments. But the operations team does have a bulk of what the departments need in order to operate per se. And then fleet and facilities, of course, facilities take care of all the facilities that government employees work out of, as well as ones that are available to customers, or rather the public, as well as fleet is our county fleet, taking care of it so that we can provide those services, whether it be the garbage trucks or the actual cars that county employees use to get to meetings or events that they have to attend. So in short, there's no one thing I can say that this is the only thing that as a division director I do. There's so many different facets of procurement and that it changes on a daily basis that I can say that I do everything.
Great. Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, I come by your office and I see the enthusiasm that you have with your staff, and I can appreciate that as a coworker of yours. Good job. Keep that up.
Thank you.
What would you say to someone who's looking at this show right now, one of the millions of viewers that's watching us right now, and they have the desire to follow in your footsteps? What type of advice would you give them to become a procurement professional?
There'd be two basic ones. The first and most important one is you truly have to have a passion to learn. Not even a passion for procurement, because as mentioned, I had no idea what procurement was up front. But because I'm a lifelong learner, that I enjoyed school, I enjoyed learning new things and expanding my knowledge, procurement was the best the best career path to take, because you'll always be learning something different. And there's so many different teams that just in the strategic procurement itself, so many different teams that if for whatever reason, if I got bored with the operations side, I could jump into information technology. I could jump into architecture and engineering. There's so many things that literally you can go through a 30-year career, government career, and never touch upon every single commodity that Miami-Dade County or any entity could actually produce. The second thing is procurement is all about being able to provide the guidance and information to whether it be the public, the vendor community, or your client departments itself accurately and concisely.
Right.
The only way you're able to do that is that you have attention to detail. You have to be able to know, you know what? I'm going to go into this contract and I'm going to read the very little itty bitty, I'm going to get at a granular level to ensure that I'm able to provide the information that whichever respective party is reaching out to you is accurate. It's important because everybody, no matter who you're dealing with, looks at procurement as the subject matter expert. So if you say something incorrect, they're going to go with that. They're going to say, well, no, procurement, hey, they're the contract people. They understand contracts. They're reading this, and they provided me direction and guidance accordingly. So having that sort of authority, that sort of stature to be able to say everyone is going to harp on and stick to your word, no matter what you say, you have to ensure that you have that attention, that you go meticulously through your contract documents in order to be able to articulate the information that they need. One of the things I tell staff all the time, I said, you only have two different options when it comes down to answering a question. You either know it 100% and you can express that answer immediately, or it's, I'm sorry, I need to check. Even if you're 99% certain, I'm sorry, I need to check. I will get back to you with that information. If it's not 100%, do not provide that information.
Great advice. Great advice. With this being a small business development show, do you have any advice for entrepreneurs who would like to do business with the county?
Absolutely. I have a few different pieces of advice. The first and most important thing, if they want to do business with Miami-Dade County, you have to get registered in our Informs vendor portal. Without that, you won't have an opportunity to actually participate in any of the opportunities that Miami-Dade County has. Right. Now, with our website, miamidade.gov/procurement, we do have links to our future solicitations and upcoming opportunities. But that's just information to let you know what's coming. You want to actually register for the Informed Vendor Supplier portal, because that's where you can actually view the project in its entirety when it's posted and available for you to participate, and then actually put in an offer. Further than that, even if you've gone through the entire process, you bid and you lost. You weren't the one selected as either the lowest or the highest proposer. You didn't receive a contract. Take the time out to follow up with the respective department. If it's from the Strategic Procurement Department, you can reach out to the officer that's listed on the solicitation document itself. If it's the departments, there should be contact information there or in the Inform system where you can reach out and ask them either one for a debriefing to find out, what could you have done better or something to that degree, right. Or better yet, to see what your competition was doing. Florida is the Sunshine State, and we have a law where our records, especially after a award has been made, our records are available for dissemination. So a vendor can reach out and see, okay, you know what? I wasn't the lowest bidder. What was my competition doing? And you can do that for not just Miami-Dade County, but for any government entity. You can request that information just so that you can build your research in order to participate not only just in Miami-Dade County opportunities, but opportunities in Broward County, maybe Palm Beach. The fact is that all of these counties have certain projects that can overlap. What we need in Miami-Dade County as a government, Broward may need it as well. It may be a little different, but at least you know what your competitors are doing, and you can see if you are able to match, come lower, or if it's something that maybe you need to refocus your company in regards to their offerings from there. So I do believe that is one thing that our vendors don't take advantage of, to be able to truly be able to that one I'm gonna have to get caught. But
take time.
Let me pause for a second. I truly do think that that's something that our vendors don't take advantage of, because utilizing that quote unquote secret, as I call it, that can equip them with information in order to prepare them for future opportunities both in and outside of the county.
Well, Mr. Chris, I appreciate what you told us today. I learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about what you do with procurement, and I'm sure everyone else did as well. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this time. Thank you for your information. I want to thank our super director, Ms. Namada Upal, for hiring you, choosing you, because you're a great asset to strategic procurement.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. I also want to thank Mr. Manny Sid. He's a great guy. Hope I did you well. Thank you for having us today, and be sure to tune in for next month's program of the Strategic Procurement Department Small and Local Business Development Show. Thank you. Have a good day.